Shotgun Burial is a story about a schoolboy who's infatuated with the macabre. He wants to investigate the intricacies of death, but has a psychotic, grief-infested father and has arranged a special lesson in the woods to illustrate it. The way that this story is set out, you have an extreme long shot of a long wheel-based 4x4 family car driving off the beaten track into a woods. And it drives further into the woods as far as it can go, and then you have a flashback. You have a scene where the father is in a tool shed surrounded by tools. He breaks down, he has a physical breakdown, he's spinning around, twisting around. The hollowness that he has been filled with grief. As he spins around, he looks for various weapons. He picks up a large screwdriver, he moves on to a large knife, but that's not good enough, so he moves on, he finds a saw, grabs the saw up, he's twisting around with it, that's not good enough, and then he touches the shotgun, and then in an instant his tension has gone from 1 down to 6.5, and he stays that way throughout the rest of the film. For 6 years, he's had grief building up within inside him. His wife died when Toby was 2 years old. He buried her in a churchyard, moved away from their seaside town, became a recluse, lives on a farm, works on a farm. His son is very similar in the way that he's been brought up. For those 6 years, the emptiness where he gave love and received love has been filled with a darkness, and it's been eaten away at him. He was at the bedside of his wife for a couple of years as she deteriorated. Nothing he could do could help. The doctors couldn't help, the medicines couldn't help, and he saw her die, and when death came to her, it was a blessing. She embraced it. It was what she needed to get away from the pain that she'd been having for 2 years and the pain that she could see the family were going through. So he's reached this breaking point, and they're now in the woods. They're sitting, talking, him and his dad, Toby and his dad, and they've brought their dog Thumper with them. They're talking about death. What is it like to be shot with that big shotgun? And his dad says, you never hear it. It's a big noise that you never hear. It's a darkness, a constant darkness that no light switch can turn on. It's silent, that no noise can penetrate. It's just a constant nothingness. And he explains to Toby about death. You never see Toby's face, you never see the father's face, you never see the dog's body other than the feet. Then you have an extreme close-up of the passenger door, the driver's door opening and the father getting out. Big boots, soiled boots, and then you see a blanket, a checkered red picnic blanket, and then you see a spade. Then you realise there's no picnic going to happen in the woods today. Then you see the shotgun barrel. Then you see the passenger door open, Toby get out, he's in his school uniform. You can then see the feet of the dog. You can only see the area between the ground and the top, the base of the door of each vehicle. It's about 1.5 feet, but you can get quite a lot of information in those shots. They continue to talk about death as they walk through the woods. Toby's saying, it's a school day, why am I here? You're here because Toby's dad has broken down, and he knew when he was spinning around and twisting back in the tool shed, he knew as soon as he touched the barrel of the gun, he knew it was time, it was now, it has to be right now that you go out and you do this, because it makes clear sense, like a diamond bullet through his forehead. He knew it has to be now, I have to do this right now. But it's premeditated. He says to Toby, we're back in the woods, you helped me dig this hole yesterday. Toby helped him dig the hole. So the viewer, as the film progresses through the woods, they're thinking to themselves, it's the dog that's going to get it, it's the dog that's diseased. They haven't seen the faces of the two main characters, the only characters, so they interpret what Toby looks like, they interpret what Toby's dad looks like. No sick individual would have their son dig a hole that they're then going to fill them in with. So the concept and the idea is that the dog is injured, it's damaged, it's got some kind of disease, and the way that they've been talking about death, the whole fable is that it's acceptable to shoot and end the life of a family pet now, when they'll otherwise be suffering, and then bury it in the woods where you always go, rather than just give it to the vet and they dispose of it, so that you can still remember those happy times. And that's what the story is about, and that's what the viewer is led to believe. As you walk through the woods, it gets darker, it gets rainier. It's been a nice green sunny day, going through into more of a sinister tone. And then they come to various different trees that Toby climbs, trees that look like lighthouses and windsurf things and fire engines, spaceships. As you go deeper, they become twisted monsters, they become hairy spiders, they become black, dark scorpions. Then you get to the hole. Blanket goes down. He says to Toby that, we'll have one last chat with Thumper. Then shotgun blast, boom, Act 2 ends at that. Up to the sky, crows flying, that kind of thing. And then Toby's dad is walking back to the car and is explaining what he's done to Toby. He's saying, Toby, this, Toby that, blah, 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 blah. He's justifying himself, that emptiness that has now had clarity, that void where it was then filled with all hatred against religion, against the concept of death and so on. And then he gets to the car, he opens up the passenger door, he puts the blanket in, he puts the now muddy spade in, he puts the spent shotgun in, and then he whistles. And Thumper runs and jumps in the back of the car. And that is when the viewer gets it, and they say, is it acceptable to kill a family pet? Is it therefore acceptable to kill a family member? The reason he shot Toby is because Toby had the same wasting disease, and he didn't want to spend another 2 years going through this. He couldn't. He let his wife down by not ending it there and then, and nothing could be done to help her, and she died a prolonged, agonizing death. This is a tragic love story about what one man will do and the lengths he'll go to in order to help his son that he loves very much. It's a social drama that questions, is it fair to shoot animals? And I think we'll see more of Toby's dad, and we'll see more of him moving forward. He'll be back to that wood, maybe with someone else, maybe to dig the body back up to spend some more time with him. We don't know, but that's the story as it is now. Two pieces of music that are going with this. You heard a bit before. This is Peter Gabriel from Rhythm of Heat. It's just called Heat. It's the soundtrack to Birdie. It starts straight away when you've got the extreme long shot of the vehicle going off the road. This here, it's showing you that there's something funny going on. The undertones, something's happening. It's setting the pace. It's a bit scary and a bit sinister. And then when the shooting has been done and Toby's dad is coming back through the woods, also from the same soundtrack, this is called Birdie's Flight. Again, it's still that same tempo, it's still that dangerous undertone as he moves back to the woods. He has done the shooting, he's buried his son, he's now got rebirth. He knows now that he is complete himself. His emptiness gone, his justification approved, and he can now get on with the rest of his life. The torment for the last 6 years has come to fruition, has come to an end. He's got complete clarity and justification. That's Shotgun Burial. It's my first short play. I hope to put it into film in the next couple of months. And thank you.